10 best AEW matches of 2024. You already know it's the time of year where I kind of get together and try to put together the 10 best AEW matches and ultimately the 10 best WWE matches, which will be coming out tomorrow. The 10 best WWE matches of 2024 will be coming out tomorrow on Christmas Day. This list I put together, the 10 best AEW matches. This is my opinion, so you probably don't agree with it. There's probably some matches on this list that you're probably going to think I shouldn't put on this list, and that's okay. It's your opinion at the end of the day. It's all good. But with that being said, I'm going to get right into it, man. Christian Cage versus Adam Copeland, AEW Dynamite on March 20th, 2024 of this year. I Quit match for the TNT Championship. I mean, just a good match, man. You know, first off, Christian and Adam Copeland, just showing the whole world, like, even at their age, they can still go. And two guys that grew up like brothers, best friends, that grew up together through wrestling. And to see them put out a really good performance in this I Quit match was really good. I feel like their I Quit match, just because of the fact that there's been so many other AEW matches that went down this year, I feel like this match is underrated and don't get talked about a lot. Adam Copeland did win this match. He became the TNT champion. So definitely a great Dynamite TV main event if you did not get to see this one. All right, 9 is going to be Mercedes Monae versus Willow Nightingale, Double or Nothing for the TBS title. This was Mercedes Monae's debut match in AEW officially, because they kind of messed that whole up, but that's a whole different story. Y'all know Mercedes Monae debuted in AEW like 2 months before she ended up wrestling. But nevertheless, when she did wrestle, Mercedes Monae showed like she is still one of the very best women wrestlers in the world. And Willow Nightingale is really good in her own too. I've been a fan of Willow Nightingale for a very hot minute. She's been impressing the hell out of me. And this match, I think, showed like, yo, you give the women time to shine, you know, they're going to go out there and shine. 8 is Hangman Page, Swerve Strickland, AEW All Out, Steel Cage match. You can pretty much say that this was it. I think we're going to get another Hangman Swerve match maybe down the road, but at least for a while, we're not. And so I think this was, as of right now, the ending of their feud. Not as destructive as their Texas death match they had at Full Gear, but this was a good one nonetheless, hence why I put it on the list. I mean, just a straight, again, two guys that absolutely hate each other. I mean, Hangman just went OP'd and Swerve in this match. He literally killed Swerve. Like, you could have legit thought that Hangman killed Swerve at the end. So 7 is Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale. This was also at AEW All Out. This was a street fight. Man, these women, again, you give these women time to shine, they're going to go out there and shine. And I think Willow and Chris, I mean, they beat the hell out of each other. There was a moment in the match I specifically remember when Chris Statlander, she went for the splits, and she had caught the tacks. Kind of reminded me of when Randy Orton got RKO'd into the tacks. These women beat the hell out of each other. Light tubes, thumbtacks, table. Like, as soon as I don't even think the bell rung and they just went straight at each other, you already knew you were in for a treat. Now, number 6 is Mercedes Monae versus Chris Statlander at Full Gear. This was, and I said this back at Full Gear, I think this match arguably was Mercedes Monae's best title defense since winning the TBS championship. It was that moment in the match where they made it seem like that Chris Statlander could very well win. So that was really cool too. But just another display of Mercedes Monae showing that, again, she's in a league of her own. That, yeah, she may not be the boss, she's the CEO, and the CEO is coming to do big things, if you know what I mean. Number 5, Darby versus Osprey, AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash. Obviously, if you can tell, this was actually really recent. People are calling this match one of the very best TV matches of the year for AEW Dynamite, and I mean, you can't blame them. I had recently watched the match I didn't get a chance to watch it live. I watched it like a couple days after. But watching it, I was like, okay, I can see the hype behind this match. I mean, first off, this was the first time that Darby and Osprey had a one-on-one match, and they killed it. Shocking to see Darby be the one to beat Will Osprey, but just a great display for the fans and attendance and everybody watching at home. So obviously rightfully deserving, I felt like, to be on this list. Swerve, Danielson, all in for the World Heavyweight title. I mean, man, what an ending. You know, Bryan Danielson winning the AEW World title. You know, we've been saying it since he arrived. Like, when is this Goatface dude gonna win the world title? And it really seemed like holy crap, man, if Danielson is gonna leave AEW without winning the AEW World title. So Swerve killed it, Danielson killed it. I mean, the crowd was into it, I was into it. This was easily one of the best AEW title matches, and just awesome moment seeing Danielson celebrate with his family in the ring. Number 3 is Sting and Darby Allin versus the Young Bucks at AEW Revolution for the World Tag Team titles. This was built as Sting's final match in professional wrestling, and I mean, I know people have their, complaints about AEW, but I think one thing that we can't all complain about, that they did a terrific job, not just with the booking of Sting, but with Sting's treatment of this retirement. I mean, a legend like Sting deserves to go out with the bang, and I think this match he did exactly that, and I think the Young Bucks, they played a good role, and the Young Bucks is obviously another tag team I know a lot of people may not like, but I think they played their roles in this match as well. And this was just a fun match, man. Like Darby, the glass spot, which little extreme, I know, in some people's eyes, but we all know how Darby is. The dude literally was trying to climb Mount Everest a couple months ago, which he didn't. But at the end of the day, perfect send-off for one of the very legends of the wrestling world, that man being Sting. Who is Swerve versus Osprey at Forbidden Door? I will say this here. I know a lot of people were saying it when this had happened. Swerve and Osprey was probably the best AEW World title match of the year, I think, like, for me, I think this title match solidified, first off, because heading into it, I think a lot of people already knew that Will Osprey is one of the best wrestlers in the world. But I feel like this match solidified Swerve Strickland. Like, okay, this man, he up there. He up there. Like, he ain't just some average wrestler on the street. He ain't just some average wrestler who won the AEW World Championship. Like, this dude is the real deal, because he was the first man to beat Will Osprey. Will Osprey came into this match undefeated. So for Swerve to come in there and make a statement in a match where he probably wasn't, I don't even think he was the odd favorite to win, just goes to show you what level Swerve was on that night. And this shouldn't really be a surprise at the number 1 spot, but if it is, then it is. Bryan Danielson, Will Osprey, AEW Dynasty. I mean, dude, you have people saying it, that this was the greatest match in American wrestling history, which I don't know about all that, but this was definitely, in my opinion, the best match that AEW could have put on regardless. I mean, Bryan Danielson, Will Osprey, first time ever. Will I say more? Like, if you haven't seen this match, I would definitely tell you to go check out this match. Just all around, just a perfect explanation of what AEW is all about. And I'm going to tell you this right here, right now, too. There's so many matches, I think, that AEW has put on this year. I could have put on this list, but for the sake of all intents and purposes, I didn't put on this list. AEW has proven why they claim to be the best in-ring wrestling promotion in the world. You hear all the time how AEW is for the sickos. AEW is for the real pro wrestling fans. I mean, just to name some other honorable mentions, that I can guarantee you every other AEW fan will put on the list. Osprey versus Pac. The three-way dance. Osprey versus Konechka. Darby versus Konechka. The Young Bucks versus Private Party. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I could sit here, but we'll be here all day. So, hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. That pretty much wraps it up. Like I said, tomorrow will be the 10 best WWE matches of 2024.